Good day, this is Randy Smotone from InvestSharp.com, and it is Sunday, December 26th, and I have a weekly watch list for you. Of course, I'll start out with some triangles, then move some wedges, bull flags, some near breakouts, and or could be at resistance, some near support, and some that breakouts that still look pretty good. And of course, the list of the strong stocks that I think should be dip buys. First, start out with triangles. A lot of the home builders breaking out last week. MTH, like this ascending triangle breakout. Did pull back Friday, but and percentage was decent amount, but it looks like it's trying to hold the support where it's touched, and then it had a breakout. So I think that's worth watching. NetScout still looks good. Had a nice little breakout. Real light volume. It's still holding kind of around the breakout point, so it's still worth keeping your eye on. I like it. QUIK, another one that had a breakout. A lot of stocks had a breakout and just haven't gone anywhere, which seems to be the norm in more cases than not as of late. There are some stocks continue to run, but a lot of doing that. So looks fine. See if EEM can break out of this symmetrical triangle here and head back up to its highs. A1, of course, this is a much longer term triangle here in the making, right? So see if it can take out probably over what that'd be Wednesday's high, 995 with some volume, but pretty light volume there on Thursday's just inside day really of the day before, so it looks fine. BHP had a breakout, holding so far, looks good. A lot of the properties, the real estate investment trusts starting to look good again, so keep some of them on your radar. CBL looks like it's breaking out an ascending pattern, possibly to the upside, or could be a resistance. DirecTV descending triangle, so it needs to break out over Thursday with some volume and head higher. Of course, FAS financials are moving, so FAS is broken out and it's holding that right around that support area. MIPS Technologies, so it's holding this uptrend line here, touched here, here, so it needs to take back out about 16 with some volume. Can see it, but it's resting. It's been consolidating here basically in this channel for a while, so which is good, and it's healthy. It needs to build up some energy so it can go higher. STEC, another one, symmetrical triangle. It's like a holding support. Developers Diversified Realty, I talked about this one last week. It already broke out, holding up fine. BEAV, this one right around pretty low risk buy point here, because it's touched and it's kind of touched here and touched here, so it needs to hold around the 30 or so, and should be working for a breakout. Have a lot of volume here off the earnings. Goldman Sachs, another one's in an ascending type triangle, and just need to wait for a breakout move higher. Mosaic did break out, was in a descending triangle, did break out above the downtrend line on Thursday, and looks good. In fact, a lot of the fertilizers are looking good. Now there's a couple of wedges. CSIQ, as long as the higher oil goes, these solar stocks will start running higher again as well. So this looks like a nice little breakout above the downtrend line of the wedge. So see if it can continue and work its way back up, continue higher. Another one, LDK, another one in a wedge, broke out. It hasn't gone anywhere though, just kind of hanging out there. I'd like to see it take out the 30 and move higher. Some bull flags here. JCOM, so this one is still consolidating, flagging out. Looks fine though. Need to wait for it to break out of there. Lazy Boy had a nice breakout, still holding. Nice tight little doji string here, waiting for the next move higher. Looks good. JRCC, coal company, bull flag, looks good. CX, another flag. Again, wait for them to break out of their flags. RDC, same thing. SYK, same thing. TCK, it's in more of a channel, but it's still flagging. Looks fine. It needs, again, wait for the breakout. VMC, this thing has been on quite a run. Had all this buying and then flagged out, and then a huge run. So give it a chance here to finish its little pullback, its flag, and then should see some higher prices in that one. MT, same thing, more flags. DEC, ATI, CLF. Now these are at near breakout, or they could be at resistance. Aluminum Core of China up against its downtrend line. EWBC, East West Bank Corp. So it needs to go a little further here. So it's been hit, got rejected, and so it needs to take out this prior high here. EXXI, same thing, had this resistance. Has this nice kind of rounded bottom, it's ascending type pattern, and hit and hit and hit, and can't seem to come over that. So once it gets over that, it should have some nice move higher. CSC, another one that's up against its downtrend line. So but it looks like a lot of volume coming back in, so watch for a breakout here. NXY, so it needs to take out about the 2250 or so with some volume, but it looks like it's put in, it's been consolidating down here for most of the year, and so it could have a nice breakout and then move on up here once it breaks out. It looks good once it breaks out anyway. IBM, this thing has been messing around. It's just had a bunch of volume coming this day. It's wanting to break out. And Apple, same thing. Apple, of course, Apple's had quite a run. It's been a very slow grind higher for the most part, especially here. It's been, but from here to here is a pretty good move, but looks like it could be ready to go higher. CPT, another property company. So here's this big wedge. So watch for it to come out of that. And then here's some near support, LOGI. Logitech, so kind of a wedge, but it's touched, and still touching. So I mean, it could break down, but it break out. If it can break out above the downtrend line, you go long. MDT, Medtronic. So had resistance, had a nice breakout here, volume to support it, and should have some support here. And then it also has made a note here on the weekly that it has a nice weekly here. Yeah, so much longer term, big symmetrical triangle in this weekly for Medtronics. Of course, it will have to take out this 4250 area, but could be on a nice resume. It's a nice strong uptrend again if it can take out that weekly, which is some time. But for now, it takes closes over the high here with some volume, you could go along that one. Looks pretty good. PLD, same thing here. It's holding this support. It's got this nice cup and handle. I think I talked about this one before. And HIG, Hartford Financial, had a nice breakout above the uptrend line where it's had a lot of resistance in the past. Should be some good support for it. Had some good volume coming in. Baidu, still messing around for the most part, but it held the uptrend, still holding the uptrend line. So it seems like it's trying to hold around 100, and there was no selling volume at all the last couple of days of last week there. CTXS, another one's in this ascending pattern. Looks like it again is trying to hold the uptrend line, trying to hold the 30 as well. X, so it's holding where it had this breakout, pretty tight consolidation. So wait for the move higher. And then these are all breakouts that look good. This Imperial Oil. Whoops, let me go a little further here. Right, so it's resistance. Huge move up here and now, but it's holding here. So probably be good if it could rest a couple of days and then go higher. PPS, another Post Properties. So it is holding the breakout here. Wasn't a lot of volume behind it, but wasn't any volume last week. So SECO, also Southern Copper, nice breakout there. STI Financial. Now I had this breakout here, right? Put this in, it had this breakout, all this volume coming in, but it's got some resistance, right? It's touched here, it's had resistance at this trend line, so which we're right there now. So it needs to take out this 29 or so to move higher, and then should work its way back up to that high of 32. Morgan Stanley, nice breakout of the downtrend line. I think I talked about this. This is looking really good for some higher prices. NCT, Newcastle Investment, had this nice breakout, had some previous resistance here, and it's holding up. And IPI, Intrepid Potash. Nice breakout here, and it's holding up here. Now also has a great weekly breakout, right? So it's had resistance on the weekly, resistance, and it's had a nice breakout here. So that's looking pretty good for much higher prices in the future. And let's see, DRN. Of course, this is the 3 times real estate had the breakout of the downtrend line, and it's looking good also. CF, ags that were in play again last week. Nice breakout on CF. AGU breaking out of the downtrend line. Financial, JP Morgan. Now it has this ascending triangle longer term, right, that it finally broke out of, but it also has this this ascending type triangle. It hit resistance, hit resistance, hit resistance here. So it needs to take out this high here to move higher. But I just got the volume. MACD looks fine. I mean, it should move on higher, so it looks good here. And BAC, same thing, broke out above the downtrend line. Also got a this double bottom pattern, so expected to get somewhere back up to there. It's looking good. Disney, nice breakout of the ascending triangle, looks good. And ABC also looks good, nice breakout, holding this breakout here. Resistance, resistance. It's taking out the resistance here of the trend line, and so it's looking for good for some higher prices. And then of course the here's the list, and then of course all of these are strong, and dip buys always, keep an eye on these. These have been really strong stocks, most of them just hanging around their 52-week highs week after week. So here's the list for this week. All right, so that's all I have for you today, and thanks for watching.